Hi, my name is Will Nunziata, New York City-based director and creator of theater, television, and film, and also proud FENIX Global Artist Ambassador. Today, I am thrilled to be speaking with the acclaimed alternative soul hip-hop artist and designer, the one and only Mark Yu. For more on Mark Yu, you can read more about him right below this video, but in the meantime, here is a sneak peek at the amazing, incredible talent of Mark Yu.
No, 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 no. Every time my heart lies, things seem to unfold. Ego trips, they take my mind. That's when I unload. My heart knows, 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 my heart knows. My heart's grieving, my heart's happy. Ups and downs all around kinda have me. Progression stalls when I try to think it all. Trying to move my feet so I can walk past the thoughts. Trying to catch the weight so I can kinda act the false. I'm trying to flow free on what my mood brings. Balancing, pacing out my mood swings. Hopefully that bring my ass some good things. These palpitations don't lie, don't wanna keep them in. Only trust in my mind, they say the deepest sin. Holistic measures, not just for my pleasure. Knowing doing better, that's what I'm projecting, yeah. Every time my heart lies, things seem to unfold. Ego trips, they take my mind. That's when I unload. My heart knows, 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 my heart knows.
Well, hello, Mark Yu. How are you?
Pretty good. How you doing, Will?
Mark, I'm doing so much better now that I'm speaking with you. And also, I'm doing so much better now that I know that the audience got just a sneak peek of your incredible talent. But Mark, you are not only an amazing artist, alternative soul, hip hop, you're also a designer, and we're going to get into it all. But I want to know, Mark Yu, where were you born? And when did you realize that you had the ability to tap into some pretty incredible creative expression?
Well, I was born in Brooklyn, New York, East Flatbush, Brooklyn, to be exact. And I guess you could say, I would say around 13 or 14, I realized that I may have some musical abilities. My father was or is rather, he would hate for me to put in past tense. He's a ska frontman vocalist, and I grew up going to his shows on tour in the summertime. And that kind of got the ball rolling for me musically, and exploring different sounds and songwriting.
Well, I'm so curious because throughout your music, I feel like there's a lot of fusion going on. So my question musically, who were your inspirations growing up in terms of the musical landscape that you now parlay into your own work?
Great question. So I grew up in a Jamaican household, and I went to these punk rock shows on the weekends in the summertime, and then in my neighborhood it was just a lot of hip hop playing. So I grabbed from all different, I guess, palettes and different canvases musically. I loved Lauryn Hill, Bob Marley, Rakim, Jay-Z, Fleetwood Mac, The Police, Stevie Wonder. I could go on and on. I listened to almost every single genre, even some heavy metal.
See, Mark, this is what I love about you, is that you not only had so many influences, but then you unapologetically put it through the filter of Mark Yu and created your own sound. Have you been told that before?
I've been told that a few times, and I guess you don't realize it personally when you're just reacting and responding instinctively. Just trying to express as honestly as possible.
There
But
it
I
is,
haven't told
Mark
that.
Yu. What you do is it's so evident, even in the minute clip of My Heart Knows that the audience got to hear and listen to, is that you have great instincts and you're unapologetically going with them. There's no apology. There's you're leaning into the vulnerability, and I think that's what makes you such a relatable artist too.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that's just me trying to live in truth, not pretending to be anyone else. Sometimes it's easy in entertainment or music to put on a facade or a face or not be able to express fully, because it's really challenging at times to lay yourself on the line emotionally and not being sure of how people are going to respond. But I'm a Pisces, so I don't know how to respond any other way to life. Sometimes it's not even a choice.
Well, Mark, you talk about expressing yourself fully. You not only do it so beautifully with your art through your music, but you do it as a designer as well. Talk to
Thank
me a
you.
little bit about your company, Distinguishing Gray, and the sweatshirt that you're wearing now that I believe is also from your line.
It is. Here it is, human being sweatshirt, hoodie. Distinguishing gray is an idea that I came up with having these very diverse experiences throughout my life. Being at punk rock ska shows in the summertime, watching these white kids from the suburbs worship my father on stage, this black man with his own individual journey, separate of theirs, but relating to them as a community. And then growing up in New York City, which is a very diverse city, and it's so many different cultures and people. And I just wanted to, I guess, remind myself through clothing of just the nuances of life. That sometimes the binaries that we're lost in many different issues in society can sometimes be overwhelming. And if we approach some of those things with the lens of openness and trying to find the gray area, that it may lead to some common ground connectivity.
Ah, beautiful, my friend. I mean, look at now more than ever, especially in the highly political world we live in, everyone is literally and figuratively living in their own timeline. You
Hmm.
know, on Facebook, listening
Absolutely.
to only the people that they agree with on Twitter. And we forgot the art of conversation. In what
Hmm.
you're doing in a show, don't tell way, sorry to use a directing term, I'm only the director
No,
of
you're
our
good.
own, but is the fact that you not only are having these conversations through your poetic and beautiful music, but you are doing it now visually through your art. Because as the audience can see, not only does it say human being, and if you don't mind just lifting it up a little bit,
No, not at
you are
all.
expressing all of the different emotions and landscapes of journeys that people are constantly going through on a daily basis, and it's called the human condition. And
Mhm.
what a beautiful reminder, Mark, you, and I will get off my soapbox, but I've had a few weeks to think about
You're
this,
good.
so I'll pay you later for therapy. This is beautiful therapy. But what I love, Mark, you so much is that not only through your music are you giving society a mirror to look at people, so for people, and to give them the permission to look at their true selves, but with what you wear and what people are able to wear, they're not only for themselves, but giving the world that they pass by every day an opportunity to maybe look and think about things a little bit more open, with a more open mind.
Mm, thank you.
That was my
um,
soapbox moment.
no, it was great, and I think is poignant and accurate. A lot more articulate than I could have put it.
Well, Mark, you, I had 3 weeks to think about it because we booked this interview 3 weeks ago. But Mark,
Fair,
you,
fair.
listen, these past 18 months have been hard on all human beings, but especially artists. And I'm
Mhm.
curious to know for you what you did during the quarantine and continue to do, because we're still kind of in this horrid mess, hopefully a little bit better sooner rather than later. But what have you been able to do as an artist to maybe relook at your art or revamp your art? And what are you most looking forward to in terms of consistently getting back out in front of an audience and just people?
Mm. Well, I did a few things. I opened myself up to collaboration, writing and producing for other artists, which is something that I hadn't tapped into yet, as I was still trying to find my own voice and be solidified in that. And also started therapy. Being still in this pandemic, which has been hard for many people in various ways, I'm sure some I've heard about and some things I haven't heard about as far as experiences. Um, Being able to recognize that there's still some things that I could grow and work on, and trying to show up every day as a better human being, as a whole human being, as an abundant person, which is really further sewed into my art and expanded how I create, and even intensified that vulnerability that we spoke on earlier. So that has really inspired me even further in creating. And then after that, to answer the second part of your question, I'm looking forward to just being around human beings again in a creative space, seeing other artists perform, interacting with people. I have a new album coming. I'm excited to have intimate shows, bigger shows with people, and just see how, I mean, the art really kind of comes a lot to a life in a new way when you're performing, and seeing how people are interacting with it. So I've been sitting with these songs for a while, so I'm excited for that.
Mark, you've obviously done the work as not only an
Trying
artist,
to.
but a human. But you said something that's on one of the quotes on top of my vision board. It says, "Just be 1% better every day."
Hmm.
1%, not
I like that.
100. You're not going to get everything perfect. But
Hmm.
what you were saying reminds me of that, right? It's just that try and be 1% better. And that's all we can give in ourselves for. And there's something about you talking about the stillness and being still that, allowed you, I can relate in a lot of ways being still, but artists that I've spoken with, especially artists, because we feel deep, and to be still and to maybe face some emotions, trauma, whatever, it not only makes us better people, but it makes our art that much more clear and truthful.
Hmm.
You're very inspiring, and I'm very excited about what's going to come next for you, Mark Yu, because you're a singular voice. There's no one else like you. I've done hundreds of these interviews, and there's never been someone remotely like you. And so
Wow.
I'm excited for you, your future, obviously, but also just you being a part of this platform in terms of not only, the new fans that you're going to gain, but the future of collaboration, because there are artists all over the world who are just as hungry as you are, but are also just as amazingly good people
Absolutely.
as
Absolutely.
you are.
I'm honored by your words and the recognition. Thank you so much for having me. It's a great conversation, great exchange. Yeah, I'm
God
looking
bless you,
forward
Mark.
to seeing how things progress as well. Thank you. God bless you as well.
Have a great day, and thank you for your time today.
You as well. Thank you.